Israel's Foreign Minister Yair Lapid condemned the Russian attack in a statement, offering humanitarian aid to Ukraine, but not military assistance.
Israel has deep, long-lasting and good relations with Russia and with Ukraine. There are tens of thousands of Israelis in both countries, and there are hundreds of thousands of Jews in both countries. Maintaining their security and safety is at the top of our considerations.
International analysts warn the aim of Russian President Vladimir Putin goes far beyond just Ukraine.
Putin, of course, wants to destroy Ukrainian sovereignty, but this is not really about Ukraine. This is about Putin trying to play out the end of the Cold War with an alternate ending. It's about expelling the United States from Europe, and changing the security architecture in Europe will have direct implications on the Middle East, but also globally.
Anna Borshevskaya of the Washington Institute in Washington, D.C. says Russia's military success in the Middle East has also helped give Putin the upper hand with Ukraine.
The fact that Russia had a strategic success in Syria and was able to establish a permanent military presence puts it in a better position to pressure Ukraine. I think you're going to see more Russian military activity in Syria and the Eastern Mediterranean.
Russia is in Syria since September 2015, when the Russian Air Force first deployed there. And the Russians have basically saved the regime of Bashar Assad, and they are therefore, in essence, the de facto authority.
Middle East expert Jonathan Spire says that means it's like Israel has a border with Russia itself, and that could have implications for Israel's potential military efforts against Iran's moves in the Middle East.
Now, Israel is engaged in an ongoing air campaign to try to roll back Iranian efforts at consolidation and entrenchment in Syria. Nothing can happen over the skies of Syria without tacit Russian permission, which means that the Israeli-Russian relationship is of paramount diplomatic importance to Israel right now.
At the same time, Israel is a key ally of the U.S.
And Israel has its own values also, and absolutely is close to Ukraine also, which has, of course, a Jewish president. So it means that Israel is kind of torn between two imperatives right now.
In a sign of trouble ahead, Russia's deputy ambassador to the UN blasted Israel the day before the invasion of Ukraine, and then tweeted, "We're concerned over Tel Aviv's announced plans for expanding settlement activity in the occupied Golan Heights, which contradicts the provisions of the 1949 Geneva Convention. Russia doesn't recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights that are part of Syria." Israel captured the strategic plateau during the 1967 Six-Day War and considers it critical for the defense of the Galilee and the country. For now, Putin has his hands full with Ukraine, but if he achieves his goals there, Israel could find itself in an even more difficult security situation, facing both Russia and Iran in Syria. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.